It was a minor key thing anyway. This wasn't just a new world, which was what Janice had dreamed of when she thought of going to Mars or Venus in her younger days. It was effectively a new universe. She'd also half-seriously wanted to name the nuclear-powered airship built in the last few years, from dusted-off plans with round-the-clock shifts, the Super Pellucidar or Bust, or the O220 Mark II. Ringing silence had greeted the memos she'd sent up the chain of command to that effect, though she thought they'd been well-reasoned. Despite her being the first to figure out what the world on the other side of the gate actually was. Though that had given her enough leverage to get included in the expedition, once she'd been validated by further data. It might have scuppered her engagement, but that was a beneficial side effect. Finding out who Doug thought should be really in charge at seventh and last was worth the negative emotions. Howls of delighted laughter had greeted the suggestions for names from everyone she'd told the proposals to. No matter how much literary prestige Edgar Rice Burroughs had these days, with all but the most pickle-up-the-butt holdouts, they tended to hang out in backwater places like Harvard. She imagined them gray and dusty, poring over their fading copies of Henry James and playing Professor Pouty McPoutyface at the resurgence of the pulps. Perhaps there were a few holdouts in the upper echelons of politics, too, or it was just the reflexive cover-your-butt that seemed to go with high office. The airship had been named the Admiral Peary instead. They hadn't named it after the first famous Peary, probably because someone had been afraid that would offend the Japanese, who were important allies these days. Still, she was here, and that kept making a smile threaten to break out. The bridge level of the airship was a long rectangle running back into the interior, just under the blunt nose of the Peary, where a great arc of transparent 12-foot-high impact synthetic curved around the front of it. It was nearly 1,000 feet forward of the great X of control fins at the stern of the Peary's orca shape. The helm was at the front and center, and control stations were spaced around that perimeter to either side, separated by stretches of railing which allowed you to walk forward and stare almost directly down through the 1,200 feet of altitude they kept to most of the time.